This is my wife's favourite coffee. It's a long black with a dash of milk, and it's one of the most poorly made drinks in specialty coffee. Everyone thinks this drink is simple, but a dash is vague, water temperatures are ignored, and baristas are just guessing. A long black should be ready to drink. We believe that 75 degrees is the perfect temperature for a straight long black. But the moment you add milk, everything changes. So when you add milk to 75 degree water, it's going to cool it right down. You're going to end up somewhere around 56 degrees. And that is way too cold for someone to enjoy a hot beverage. So if you've got a pre-warmed cup and you're going to add hot water in, we recommend 100 degrees. Because by the time you add the espresso in, that will actually come down in temperature. You're going to end up at about 74 degrees. By the time you put 40 grams of cold milk into that cup, you're going to end up at about 63 degrees, which is really close to that optimal 65 degree temperature that everyone's chasing for their milk latte beverages. So we're so close to making the perfect long black with a dash of milk. But let me come back to that 40 grams that I mentioned. I had a good play. We've been testing around how much milk versus how much water and espresso that you need to really balance out a drink. If you have too little milk, it's not gonna give some sweetness to that long black and help bring down some of the boldness that it would have. If you add way too much milk, you're actually gonna wash it all out and it'll just taste watery and terrible. So getting the right amount of milk to increase the sweetness, balance out the acidity and strength of the long black is the key to getting the best coffee. So in my research, I've played with different temperatures from 75 degrees, 95 degrees to 100 degrees for that water to start with. And we started to play with variations from 90 grams of milk all the way down to 20 grams of milk. And what I worked out was 40 grams of milk to 100 grams of water with an espresso of 22.5 grams was the perfect combination. It still had some good punch and boldness that you're looking from that long black. The milk's not overriding, but it really balanced the cup. It brought the sweetness levels up, the acidity and the boldness down, and it didn't allow that crema to sit on the top and get oxidized and be too harsh and heavy for that first sip. Now we do want to start with fresh cold milk because there's an amount of sugars, sweetness, body, proteins and flavor in that milk that's going to help balance the cup out. Don't get a bit of extra milk that you've already frothed for that last latte because all that goodness is in the other cup. All you're doing is adding poor quality, thin milk into a cup and it's going to taste even worse. And the customer won't come back for that kind of coffee. So here's a few areas where baristas fail when making this coffee. They have too cool of water, or they're going to have to top that water up after they've made an extraction. So getting the right amount to start is the key. Putting the milk in first. You don't want to have milk in there. It's not tea. We want to get the right amount of water to the white espresso and finish off with the milk. So we're using that milk to help with that crema on the top of the cup. Another is tipping out liquid from a cup once you've got the espresso into the cup because you put way too much water in it. The minute you tip out some of that espresso, your dilution of that cup is huge. Make sure you have the right amount of water and the right amount of espresso so that you can take it away from your machine and add the milk in. If you need to, you can always put a little bit extra water in if it's better rather than tipping out to make room for your milk. The last one is using single origin coffee as your default. Look, we use that for black coffees, but when we're using milk, single origins aren't designed to handle a lot of milk. So it's best to communicate with your customer to find out if they're looking for that bolder cup so that the milk can balance it back down to a good, easy level. If you use a single origin, it's super fruity and you're still going to add some milk into it, it's probably going to taste like a washed out piece of apricot juice. They won't be happy. So make sure you communicate with your customer about if they want a single origin or a blend when you're adding milk. So there you have it, my wife's favorite drink that I always get wrong. Doesn't matter where I go and we order, that's the biggest complaint. So happy wife, happy life. If you've got any questions about how to make the coffee, pop it down below and we'll start the discussions about what you think is the best options for your coffee if you're having it this way. Anyway, thanks very much for watching everyone. We'll catch you next time. Cheers.